Hey guys, today I want to talk a little bit about my beginnings because I had that question in the comments on my last video. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And yeah, my beginnings as a musician have been very small. Obviously, I guess it's for everyone the same thing if you start to get into it, and I got into it pretty late. When I was younger, a kid, people around me noticed a special talent for visual arts. I was drawing a lot and I wanted to become an artist since I can remember, basically since I'm like 6 or 7. And it was my dream to study art and to become a painter as my grandfather. My grandfather was a relatively famous artist and professor of arts. And if you want to check out about him, just Google him. His name is Rainer Küchenmeister. However, I was not expected to become a musician by anyone. And so I ended up not really studying music, but studying arts. With 20 years, I was on a project called International Munich Art Lab, and this was a project to support young, talented individuals to find basically their university, or to help them get where they belong. Let's put it like that. And I was preparing for art university without having any finished school. So that's a little bit more hard because you have to prove that you have extraordinary talent. And I worked my ass off in this time. I really worked from 9 to 5, and they gave me all kinds of things to do. My work with like computers, cameras, all kinds of materials, prints, all kinds of everything what I wanted to do they gave me. But I ended up being chosen by one of the professors on the Munich Art Academy, and so I was basically done, but the project still lasted 3 more months in the summer of 2008. And there was one musician who was also a teacher in this project, and they gave me a dual screen computer, monitor, speakers and a sound card, and I made my first tries, and I immediately made a page for the project PARANDROID. In the beginning it was almost unrecognizable as music, I would say, today. And it was really bad, obviously. If you don't know anything, the music was bad, but my will was extremely strong. And so I didn't have a computer in that time. I was 20 years old. Everybody around me already had multiple computers, but my family or my mother didn't buy one for me until then. With 20 years then, after I made it on the university, I got this money from my mother, and I got my first PC that was starting on basically one PC and hi-fi speakers in the very beginning after that project. And then my journey began. I mean, I already had contacts. One sec. I already had contacts all over the scene, and I was actually doing acrobatics. People knew me, at least locally in southern Germany. And that was a good thing. Another thing was that what I was doing didn't fit in any of the groups that already have been there, and I expected a little bit support from the people around me, but the honest thing is that that wasn't the case. Even my friends told me to stop it and to concentrate on art again, and basically to stop music. And some really close friends that also have been organizers and way older than me, some of them double as old, and I expected especially their support, nothing. Same with all the other groups that have been in the Munich area. Nobody really supported me there, and I had no real friends or help to work with in that time. Only my studio, my dog, and basically that's it for a very long time. Quickly check the camera again. Okay, 5 minutes. So that was pretty hard because you don't immediately get recognized. I remember working my ass off in the beginning. As I said in the last video, humongous amounts of hours per day sitting in front of the computer, slowly also, getting back edge and problems with my back. I was really like fanatic, as I always have been with all the stuff that I did in my life. I remember that I slowly got recognized by the international community, especially after my first EP release. I talked to a bunch of people like Electric Nose, Goa Gill and many other people, but I ended up releasing my first EP, Meta Program Language, on the Israeli label Many Psycho Pro, and that basically kicked off a bunch of things. Still, I had no recognition by the local scene and was still not respected at all when I played, even pretty late, where I was already recognized as an artist. I was traveling already to foreign countries and even transatlantic gigs and stuff like that. Still, the locals didn't recognize me. So for all of you who, start to make music and have the feeling that they have very little support, which can be and don't have to be, I mean, many people have that support and they are starting it in a group anyway, don't worry and just focus and do it. Do what you believe in and you will succeed in the end. So then my first release, before that, my very first release, if that was the question, then that would be the release VA Gakalaka, something with Freak. I don't remember the exact name. The track was called Humanistic Training Sessions or Lessons. They wrote it wrong. The original name is actually something else, but they altered it and it's not too bad after all. And that was actually not too bad on VA. At some point, maybe 3 years or something after I started to make music, I got a message from Cosmo, as I said many times, probably you know it already, and he asked for music and I was blown away. I told him that he need to give me a little bit of time, I will come back at him. I remember that I had a gig on Paradise Festival in Austria around that time probably, and Cosmo was playing and I was playing and I was arriving there. And it was incredible because Cosmo played 2 tracks for me, and back in the day it was a big deal for me as somebody who's not really known. Okay, 2 minutes. I think that concludes kind of the first steps. Basically what is important if you are starting to make music, well, believe in it 100%. I'm always saying that this is one of the most important things, and if you don't have that, nothing else will come. That's it. I hope you liked the video. I hope that you had a little bit more insight in how I started to make music. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to post them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them and hope to see you guys soon. Also check out www.parandroid.net for more stuff on Parandroid, and all kinds of things that are connected to my project or my life will end up there, and you're welcome to check it out.